Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a closer look at installing and dyno testing the GTX Tuner available for the 15 to 17 5-liter F150. You should be checking out the GTX if you're looking for an easy-to-use, larger touchscreen tuner that also comes with a preloaded tune specifically for your truck that can maximize a lot of different aspects of that factory tune to give you the most out of your truck, whether it's bone stock or has some bolt-on mods. Now, before we jump into the actual aspect of the tuner, I want to take you through, of course, that dyno graph. We've got our 15 F150 here, so let's head over to the computer and check out some results. All right guys, taking a look at this dyno graph, of course we strapped down our 15 F150 to the dyno, 35-inch tires front and rear with 93 octane in the tank, bone stock otherwise. We established our baseline run, walked away with 282 horsepower and about 296 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. We then, of course, uploaded our GTX preloaded tune, modifying it to 93 octane, ran it under the exact same conditions, walked away with 292 horsepower and about 309 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels, good for peak gains of about 10 horsepower and 13 torque at the rear. Now, those peak gains alone are pretty good, but the curve is not only what you're gonna really feel out on the road, but it's also a little bit more impressive. Our curve gain for our horsepower came in right around the 3,600 RPM mark. We gained about 15 horsepower over stock, and right around the exact same spot on our curve, our torque walked away with a 23 torque increase. Now, those numbers are giving you low to mid-range gains that you're definitely gonna feel out on the road, and with these big rig F150s and these giant 35-inch tires, having that extra torque and that extra acceleration is really gonna make the difference, especially for a daily driver. Jumping right back into the GTX here, you can see that with that preloaded tuner that we're focusing on in this video, you can modify some of those parameters, including octane levels, which I think is the most important here, which is what we talked about when it comes to this truck. Now, you can modify it for 87 octane, 91, and 93 octanes for those higher octane fuels. You can also modify your rev limiter, speed limiter, and some of those other aspects of that preloaded tune in order to maximize it to your own personal preference. In addition to the preloaded tune, you can also hold up to 20 custom tunes on the GTX. Now, for this particular product here, we're taking a look at that preloaded, but if you wanted to work with a tuner of your choice, you can use this device as well. Now, you should be really honing in on the GTX if you're looking for something that will easily mount to the windshield with an included in the kit windshield mount to make life a whole lot easier. The touchscreen here is 5 inches and has a very responsive user interface. It could not be easier to use. That main menu has 6 different options to choose from. You can tune, you can look at your gauges to monitor live engine vitals on the fly, up to about 12 different vitals at once, including boost in PSI, coolant, air intake temperature, spark, so on and so forth, if you're looking to check out your engine's performance every day on the fly. In addition to that, you're also going to be able to take advantage of a DTC code reader. Check engine light comes on, read it with this device on the fly, get a description, and you can clear it right on the device as well. In addition to that, you get Wi-Fi capabilities, you get wireless updating from SCT. Anytime they put out a new software, you can do it right on the device while connecting to your local Wi-Fi network. There's a lot of other things you can take advantage of. You can boot this up right to the gauge menu, so you can have it mounted on that windshield every single day and just leave it there, and whenever you start your truck up, it'll go right into that gauge screen if that's where you want it to be. What's unique about the GTX, a little bit different than some of the more traditional handheld tuners, aside from it being a larger touchscreen device, is on the back, it's mounted using a magnet. Most of the time, tuners like this have a little slot that you have to slide and click into the windshield mount, which can be a little annoying trying to get back there. With this magnet, you can easily grab and go anytime you want to mount it up or hide it in the center console. It comes with an additional module that will help read the ECU to the device and back to the ECU itself. That's included in the kit as well. So you'll hook your OBD2 wire up to the module to the magnet, and clap it right onto the back of this thing. It's super easy to use, and I'm gonna walk you through all those features in just a little bit. Keep in mind, this comes in right around $600, and all of the features I just mentioned come wrapped in this nice, easy to use package. The install, I'm gonna give 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Anybody can tackle this with about 30 minutes or so from start to finish. I'm gonna walk you through the tuning process, specifically honing in on that preloaded, and then I'll walk you through all of those features. All right guys, now when we get set up to actually tune our truck, this is a little bit of a different process plugging in and booting up your new GTX device. It's a little bit different than most handheld tuners, especially with the fact that it has a magnetic strip on the back that is going to mount it to this clip here. Now the way this works is you're gonna take your GTX and that magnet and it's gonna snap right into place. There's really one spot for it, you can't miss it, pretty much does it itself. From the other end of that wire, you have this little cord that'll plug into your SCT module. Now, this is gonna basically feed your device's info to the truck and back the other way. So we're gonna take that plug and plug it in right to the side of that module. And then you're gonna take the OBD2 cord included in the kit, and that's gonna go to the other side of that module. It's really just piecing stuff together. This side here is gonna go to your OBD2 right under the driver's side dash. From there, you're gonna take the windshield mount included in your kit and you're gonna slot that right into the back of that magnet. Once that's there, we can mount it to our windshield. All right, so for the purposes of this video, we're gonna mount it right here so you guys can see what we're doing. Really just put it right up against the windshield and set that locking tab down. And now you can adjust this and rotate the ring on the back to tighten her down. Now, as far as the cord, I would suggest running it up through your steering column under the trim. It's up to you what you do with that. We're gonna leave it just like this for now, just so we can talk about the tuning process. But how you run your wiring, or if you wanna zip tie it back, completely up to you. Zip ties are included in the kit. From here, let's talk about tuning. All right, so we wanna jump right into tuning the vehicle. Now, before you do at home, what you wanna do is take note of the top left, your Wi-Fi. Now, right out of the box, you're going to need to connect to a Wi-Fi network in order to move forward tuning your truck. So if you're by your house, connect to your home network or wherever you may be, maybe at work. We are already connected, so I'm not gonna take you through that process, but really what you're gonna do is tap on the little Wi-Fi icon and just connect to a network that's available. From there, you're at the home page. There's a couple of different options, 6 to be exact, but we're gonna jump right into tuning. So the top left, we're gonna select tune. You're gonna put your key in the ignition and basically follow the directions. Turn it on, but don't start your engine, and press continue. Now, it may need to update the device once you connect to Wi-Fi, which we've already taken care of, and then from there it'll download the actual tune files for your specific truck. That's what it's doing here. So let it load 0 to 100 as many times as it needs to. Sometimes it may be several times, and just make sure you're not unplugging the device or disconnecting it from that magnet there, because the magnet is feeding that power through the device. So you just want to leave that there without disconnecting. All right, from here you want to hit continue on your street notice. And then you're gonna select your tune. Now, of course, for this video, we're focusing on that preloaded tune that comes with your GTX, but if you're uploading a custom tune that you've got from your own tuner, you can see that here. Now, of course, because we're focusing on preloaded, we don't have a custom tune loaded, so we're gonna focus right here on that 5.0 F150 tune. All right, from here we can either skip customization or go into customizing our tune. I wanna go ahead and customize our tune because we wanna change a couple of aspects of it. So really the main thing we wanna change is fuel octane. So you see it's set to 87. We have 93 in our tank and we wanna get the most out of this tune. So 93 is a good way to go if you have higher octane fuel in your tank. Now there are speed limiter, rev limiter, so on and so forth in different aspects, but we're going to hit continue and keep all that the same. Really what you want to focus on is the 93 octane, but you can change whatever you see fit. All right, hit there and confirm, just confirm all of that. It'll go into loading some of those files. All right, so from here you really just want to follow those directions. So turn the key off. Press continue, back on, and press continue. From here, it jumps into tuning the vehicle. So again, don't disconnect your device, keep it plugged in, follow directions if it tells you to turn your vehicle on or off, and we'll come back here when it hits 100. Back on. Off again, press continue. Back on. All right, at this point it'll say congratulations. You can enjoy the tune, press OK, it takes you right back to the main menu. All right, now aside from tuning the vehicle, I want to take you through some of the GTX features. Because this is a bigger touchscreen that you can mount on your windshield here with the windshield mount, I'm sure you want to take advantage of some of these other things like the gauges screen. So if we select that, Give it time to process and select the vehicle relevant to yours. We have a gas vehicle newer than 08, so we'll select that. What we want to do is just use default. So as you can see here, there are a number of gauges you can monitor on the fly in an easy to read fashion. Now the way this is set up, we have a larger gauge on the left, 3 smaller ones on the right, but they are modular. You can change everything that you see here. You can swipe and get different aspects and different types. So from that first page, we have a larger one, 3 on the side. Here's 4 of equal size, 6. Here there are several on the right side, about 6, 7 in total. You can keep scrolling and really just get the monitor so much, up to about 10 at the same time, which is really, really cool. Now, if you went back, you wanted to change some things, you can select some of them, you can change your layout, you can reset, you can record a data log. So if you have a custom tune installed, you can select record, communicate that back to your tuner, and make any revisions that you need to. You can change the configuration, you can change your layout and brightness. Here we have a layout you can select from a number of different configurations, which is very helpful. Instead of just scrolling through, it makes it a little bit easier. If you double tap, you can actually change what the units are. So we have boost in PSI, control module voltage, but if we wanted to change boost in PSI, you can do so. You can change the units from PSI to a number of other things. You can change the range. You can hit an alert if you hit a certain boost. Say we want to change that to coolant temp, go back, and it switches out that gauge. So there's really just a number of things you can do with this that you can really take advantage of. You can tap once and hit home if you want to go back. So that's cool to take advantage of if you want to monitor some of those vitals on the fly every day. Functions, turn the key on and hit continue. Special functions would include things like TPMS. You can change your tire size and axle ratio. You can click on that. Stock size, 34.9, we've got that. If you want to change, please enter. Get rid of 23, change it up to 35 because that's what we have on right now. If you want to change your axle ratio, if you have your gears changed, we can skip and that'll reset. So there's a number of things you can take advantage of in here, and that's relevant to the truck. So if you have bigger wheels and tires, you can take advantage of that, changing it up, recalibrate speedometer. Here it's telling us turn the key off. So when you change things like tire size and gear ratio, it's somewhat of a tune. It's recalibrating a couple of things, mainly that speedometer when you have those larger tires involved. All right, successful, you can hit OK. Now you can hit exit. Now, one of the other things you can take advantage of is the diagnostics. So check engine light pops up, you can have this device plugged in, read the DTC, otherwise known as a diagnostic trouble code. You can also clear it as well once you get that coded description and you have the situation taken care of. Information will give you things like your serial number, your updated software, your software firmware versions, things like that, all right on the screen here. If you hit settings, there's a couple of other things. General, you can change the audio. There is a small sound every time you touch a button here. General, you can have it start gauges, the gauges screen, upon startup, which is a useful setting if you're always going to go right there. Factory reset, Wi-Fi, you can change displays, you can change light sensors. It'll change from daytime mode to nighttime mode depending on the time. There's just a number of things you can take advantage of. That's pretty much all the functions of the GTX, and you can mount that on your windshield and have it in arm's reach. Well guys, that's going to wrap up my review, install, and dyno test of the GTX Tuner, specifically the preloaded tune available for the 15 to 17 5-liter F-150. If you want to pick up the GTX, you can do so right here at AmericanTrucks.com.